The Final Four starts tomorrow, and we thought it was only right to preview and give our predictions to what has been a magnificent tournament so far. And then we'll move on to some Dan Hurley talks. Where does he rank all time if he's able to win three national championships in 4 years, which has never been done? Well, in the expansion, obviously, John Wooden did it, but since we expanded the tournament. And then maybe we'll move on to the North Carolina head coaching search if we have time. So, Henry, take it away with the Final Four preview.
Yeah, we'll start with what I think will be the more entertaining game of the two. We've got Arizona against Michigan. I personally believe that they have looked like the two best teams in the tournament so far. Offensively and defensively, they just look elite, both elite in the paint. Arizona's shooting struggles a little bit, but seems to have not bothered them. They've comfortably won every game. Michigan a little better with the outside shot. You got the unbelievable size with Johnson, Lendeberg, and Mara. I would say Michigan's got the better player in the series. Arizona maybe is the better guard play. I think they've been the most consistent teams in the country all year. Tommy Lloyd and Dusty May, two great young coaches. I think it should be an incredible game. As a neutral fan, I'm hoping it is an instant classic, all-time game, all-time Final Four game. I'd be shocked if it doesn't come down to the last couple minutes and should just be an incredible game. I'm still losing sleep over who I think is going to win. Um, I was wondering who you think is going to win if you had an idea because
Yeah, I've been saying the whole time that Arizona shooting was going to catch up to them. I had Wisconsin beating them in the Sweet 16. Obviously, they unfortunately lost the high point,
yeah,
but
I wish, but
yeah. And then I thought before the Arkansas game, I said Arkansas shooting. They have the best point guard in the country. This is the best point guard that's ever played for John Calipari, and it didn't happen as well. And then I said, oh, Purdue's going to get him. And every time they've just shown that they don't really need to shoot the ball all that well, and or at
it's
least
not the
they have
NBA.
one.
It's a different sport. I
They
mean,
have one guy who could. Braden Berries is a terrific 3
mhm.
point shooter, and that's really who has carried them from behind the arc. Um, but yeah, I've been saying that Arizona is going to find a way to lose, or that another team is going to get hot from downtown and they're going to take them down, but it hasn't happened yet. If there was a team to do it, it's probably Michigan. As you
Would agree.
said, they have. It's going to be hard to score inside, obviously, with Mara and Lendeborg and Johnson, three monsters.
Mhm.
Um, so that is definitely going to hurt Arizona's offensive rhythm as they like to get inside. But like you said, I don't really know. It's two one seeds. These are two of the best teams in college basketball. They've been that way all season long. They basically been 1-2 all season long. Besides the end when Duke kind of ran away with it when they won the ACC tournament and stuff like that. Um, but I'm gonna stick. I have to stick with my guns. I've been saying Arizona's going to lose. I've been saying they're not good enough to win the national championship. Not that they're not good enough to win the national championship, just that their shooting wasn't enough to win the national championship. I'm sticking with it. Give me Dusty May and the Wolverines to go to the national championship game.
I like that pick. I've as you were talking, I was thinking if you were gonna hold a gun to my head and force me to make a pick, I would go with Michigan, I think. I mean, as you know, I attend a school in the Big Ten, so I've gotten to watch plenty of Michigan basketball. And my belief is that you do have to be able to shoot the ball to knock them off. Obviously, Michigan lost to Wisconsin on a just red hot shooting night from the Badgers. They lost to
Right.
Duke, a great shooting team. They got hot from three in the second half of that game. Big Ten tournament almost lost to Wisconsin again due to
Yeah.
Austin Rapp hitting six straight threes. Point is, if you're not hitting shots, you're down by double digits against Michigan rather quickly. If Arizona does shoot above what they've done in the regular season, I think they will win. And I think they'll do it, without too much trouble, honestly. If they, have something similar, a similar kind of night to what St. John's was having against Duke shooting the ball, I think they will win. But I don't think it's going to happen. They haven't shot the ball like amazingly better than they have in the regular season in March. I think Michigan is too good defensively inside. I think they will be able to match Arizona. It's not going to be an easy win for Michigan. It's going to come down to the
Oh,
wire. They've won plenty of close games this year. Their team's got some incredible, stones, for lack of a better word. Yaxel
right.
Lendeberg is a
Yeah,
beast, just an unbelievable player. Dusty May, great coach. I think Michigan's going to be able to get it done. I personally thought that they are better than Arizona for most of the year. Arizona maybe's looked more consistent than Michigan has. At times looked like the better team. Michigan could just flip a switch at any time. I think they'll get it done. I think it'll be one of those games. It'll be like 72 to 70, 72-68, something like
right.
that.
It's
But
definitely going to be
I
a
think
close game.
Michigan is going to send a Big Ten team to the national championship. Big Ten's had a great year, and I think it will continue. And
Yeah.
Michigan will take down Arizona.
And then there's a chance we get an all Big Ten final, and the Big Ten finally gets their first championship since 2000. You have Illinois and UConn. I think it's going to be an uphill battle for Illinois. Just
Mhm.
not that they're not talented enough to win it. I think in our article, a couple weeks ago, right before the tournament started, we said that Illinois was good enough to win the national championship, and they've
They
shown that. They're in the
absolutely
Final
are. They've
Four.
shown it. They are in the
They're
final.
2 wins away now, but you can never bet against Danny Hurley. You can never bet against the UConn Huskies and Danny Hurley in the Final Four. In the last 27 years now, dating back to 1999, they've won 6 national championships. They're going for 7. That is insane. And it wasn't just one coach. It wasn't like Duke did with Coach K. They had Jim Calhoun, they had Kevin Ollie, and now they have Danny Hurley. So it has been sustained success. Although they did have that gap where they left the Big East for the American and they kind of struggled a little bit. But although they did win a championship in that time frame with Ollie, but it's this is a team that is just they're built for Final Fours. Danny Hurley has never lost. Once he's made the Sweet 16, once he's made the second weekend, he has never lost an NCAA tournament game.
It's unbelievable. I mean,
At Rhode Island, at Wagner, at UConn, all these, he's lost either in the round of 64 or in the round of 32, and that's it. That's when you got to get him. If you don't get
mhm.
Danny Hurley in the round of 64 or 32, you're not getting him. So I think UConn will take down Illinois. It's going to be a high scoring game, I think. Illinois is an unbelievably good offensive team.
One of the most efficient offenses of all time
Yes.
this
Yeah,
year.
it's unbelievable.
So,
Wagler is unbelievable.
mhm.
Avicic is Merkovich. All these guys that they have are really good. Stojakovic. This is a really, really good program. Brad Underwood has done an
Mhm.
unbelievable job at Illinois. Um,
Absolutely.
and this is a really good offensive team, but I can't bet against the UConn Huskies in the Final Four, and I can't bet against Danny Hurley in the Final Four. So give me the Huskies over the Fighting Illini.
And you got to remember how UConn got to the Final Four too, on just one of the most incredible finishes you will ever see in your life.
It's like it's almost destiny. It feels like they're the team
I
of
mean, I can
destiny got
say,
first
as
shot
far
like
as
that.
American sports go, the first time for a neutral game that I have just jumped out of my seat
Yeah.
in just shock. I mean, it was
Yeah.
just unbelievable. The second that ball left Mullen's hand, you could see it was going to go in.
Oh, yeah, it was
And
perfect.
Duke has choked it away again.
Yep.
And it's almost impossible to see UConn losing it all after something like that, especially with a guy like Dan Hurley. Now, again, Illinois, Big Ten team. I've gotten to watch plenty of their games. The way they get you is basically with the math battle. Amazing on the offensive glass. They don't turn the ball over. They don't foul. They're just gonna get up more shots than you. And I don't think that's going to change in the UConn game. I think they will have more possessions than UConn. I think they will beat them on the glass. I mean, the size is just incredible on that team. They're going to beat them on the glass, but it's not going to matter. UConn's just going to find a way to beat them. Illinois has not looked unbeatable all year the way a team like Arizona or Michigan arguably has. They've lost to most of the good teams in the Big Ten for various flaws that they have. Now they have gotten after it defensively this tournament more so than they did in the regular season,
Right.
which is their biggest
Absolutely.
weakness in the regular season. But with Dan Hurley's offensive sets, I think they're going to get a little bit more exposed than they have the rest of the tournament. I think they were lucky to avoid playing Houston and not Houston, Florida in the Elite Eight, and they, had to play Iowa instead. It's going to be a good game. It's not going to be easy for Dan Hurley, even
No,
in
no,
this Sweet 16 and Elite Eight. It hasn't been the domination we've seen in the past couple years.
no.
Almost blew the big lead to Michigan State. Again, you say you can't bet against Dan Hurley. You also don't bet against Tom Izzo too much. So
True.
not surprised that Michigan State almost made that comeback. But either way, I think for all of Illinois' strengths, I think they will come out in this game. And I think it's not going to matter. UConn's going to find a way to get it done. We're going to get a UConn-Michigan final. And me personally, I'm going to bet against Dan Hurley. It's the Big Ten's year. Michigan's going to get it done.
The Big Ten breaks the curse.
Dusty May, you know what? He's more inexperienced, but to me, he's a guy you also don't want to bet against. We're talking about a guy who got FAU to the Final Four.
Yep, terrific
and was
coach.
one shot away from getting him to the
Terrific
national
coach.
championship, where he would have faced Dan Hurley.
Yes.
Now he's going to get the chance to face Dan Hurley, and they're going to take down UConn. Dan Hurley's not going to get his 3 and 4 years.
No.
Again, going to be an elite game, but I just think Terrace Reed by himself is not going to be able to contend with those 3 big men on Michigan. I think they shoot well enough. They also have one of the best offenses in the country, the best defense in the country. They have shown the ability to flip a switch on in big games. I think Michigan's going to get it done. I think this is the year the Big Ten finally wins a national championship. First time in a long time.
Since 2000.
I think Michigan's going to get it done.
Yeah, I want to go. My brain is telling me Michigan. My brain is saying, listen, they're the 1 seed. This is another, this is the Big Ten's year. They had a phenomenal year. 2 teams in the Final Four, multiple in the Elite Eight. Give me the UConn Huskies. Give me the Huskies. Give me Danny Hurley to go 3 for 4. And all of a sudden, we have a conversation. If they go 3 for 4, we have a conversation. Where is Danny Hurley all time? Now I'm gonna read out some names to you. Oh,
Okay.
just yes or no. All I need to know
Yes or
is
no? No explanation?
is no explanation.
Okay.
Just is he better than this coach all time if he goes 3 for 4? Just yes or no.
And this would be like today. Is he better? The second that game ends and UConn cuts down the nets, is he better?
The second that game ends, he cuts down the net, and they hoist that national championship trophy, and he does it for the 3rd time in 4 years. Where does he rank amongst these coaches? Just give me a yes or no on these coaches. I'm going to give you Coach K.
No.
No. John Wooden.
No.
No. Roy Williams.
No.
Okay, he does have 3 championships and 9 Final Fours. Dean Smith, 11 Final Fours and 2 championships.
Dean Smith, 11 Final Fours is a lot.
I know.
It's a different era back then.
It was.
Arguably easier.
Easy. Recruited guys like Michael Jordan and.
Oh, man. I'm going to say no.
No, okay. John Calipari's only got the 1 title. But
yes.
His ability, yes. Okay, all right. Yes.
We're not talking about like player development. We're talking about college basketball coaching.
That is fair. Rick Pitino. 2 championships. He's pushing for 1,000 wins. He's probably going to get to 1,000 wins when it's all said and done.
7 Final Dan Fours. Hurley will have more. I think Rick Pitino is a little bit too accomplished and far into his career for me to put Dan Hurley over Rick Pitino with a 3rd. I'm going to say no.
No. Okay. Adolph Rupp, 4 championships, 6 Final Fours. Obviously, this was like the 50s. This is, but
Adolph Rupp. I'm going to say yes.
Yes, better than Adolph Rupp. Bill Self, 2 championships.
Yes.
Better than Bill Self. Jim Boeheim. Only got the 1 championship, but he does have 5 Final Four appearances. Over 1,000 wins, all at Syracuse. 62 tournament wins. 717 win-loss percentage. I
I'm
think
gonna
this is
say
this is
yes.
a tough one. Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
think I
say
might say
yes.
yes
I
too.
think all
This
these things are just longevity things that Dan Hurley will just inevitably
we'll
get
just
close
do.
to.
Yeah, I agree. Now this one is interesting. Tom Izzo only has the one championship.
I love Tom Izzo. Grew up a fan of Michigan State, as you
Right.
know.
I do
I'm
know
gonna
that.
say yes. Tom Izzo is one of the most underappreciated coaches of
He
Michigan
is. He is
history.
very
He's
underappreciated
incredible.
because people only say, well, he's only got the one national championship, but he's an unbelievable coach.
Unreal.
Bobby Knight, 5 Final Fours, 3 championships, almost
No.
900 wins. A win away from 900 wins.
I'm gonna say no on Bobby Knight.
Jim Calhoun, 3 championships, 5 Final Fours. He is I've been saying he is UConn. Like without Jim Calhoun, there is probably no Danny Hurley at UConn. There's
I
no
mean, this is tough. This is basically the debate. If
he.
Dan Hurley wins, who's the best UConn coach of all
Yeah,
time?
he built that program from
Yeah.
literally from the ground up. There is no Stores, Connecticut is the best college basketball capital of the world. There is no, without Gino and Jim, that doesn't exist.
And I think
So
for that reason, you would have to lean Jim Calhoun
I agree.
in
I
that
agree
scenario.
100% because I don't
I would,
think
yeah.
Hurley does what he's doing without Calhoun. I'll give you a
No,
couple
like
more.
there's just the opportunity is just not there. So no to Calhoun.
I'm gonna give you a couple more. Mark Few doesn't have the championship, right? What he's done at Gonzaga, though, is that enough?
Look, it's unbelievable to turn Gonzaga into a powerhouse, but to be in the greatest coaches of all time conversation, you got to have a natty.
Right.
And it's
I
not
agree.
like it'd be 0-1, it'd be 0-3. Dan
Yeah.
Hurley over Mark Few for
Yeah.
sure.
Jay Wright. It's an interesting one. He's got 2 natties, obviously, 4 Final Fours, 642 wins, 18 tournament appearances.
You know,
Tough one.
that's an interesting one. Dan Hurley gets a third.
And you just need one more Final Four.
Villanova kind of fallen off without Jay Rice. It shows how
Yes.
important he really was to that.
Yes. Yes.
I'm gonna say, oh man, this one. I don't know why. This is like the toughest one you've given me. Jay Wright. Talk about another underappreciated coach.
Completely underappreciated. Absolutely.
Yeah. And he's got arguably the best mix of like the player development and the success of the
Absolutely. I
tournament.
mean,
Gets guys to stay.
yeah, look at the NBA.
I'm
It's
gonna say
filled with a lot
no.
of Villanova guys. No,
I'm gonna
Jay
say
Wright is a better
no.
coach. Okay, last one. Billy Donovan. There are rumors that he may be taking North Carolina job. We're going to get into that in a couple of seconds. He's got the 2 championships back to back, 4 Final Fours, a little over 500 wins, 14 tournament appearances. I think it's another tough one.
Yeah, and he did it at Florida again, which is it's a tough place to do it at.
Yeah.
Some of these you've given me, like Izzo, Few, they're the ones, they haven't come from a long line of amazing coaches at their program. They were like the first one to
Right.
make them a powerhouse. So there's something to be said about that. Billy Donovan coming back makes things interesting, make
Yes.
it back, into a race, to be determined.
Yes.
Billy Donovan wins. I mean, who knows how many you could win at North Carolina? I mean,
Yeah. I mean,
he could win 3 more if he goes there for all we know.
yeah.
It's not even
And
a
then all of a
debate.
sudden he's right there with Coach K
But,
then with 5 championships.
I think if I said no to Jay Wright, I would have to say no to Billy Donovan.
I agree.
But those are close.
They are.
If
They're
you
tough.
disagreed with me, I wouldn't fight you about
Yeah.
any of
I
those.
think
They're definitely tough.
I think it depends. Like if Billy Donovan does come back, then
Hmm.
I think it's up. If he were to retire from coaching right now, I'm taking Dan Hurley. But just the fact that he may come back,
Hmm.
I think that's what's making me think that yeah, Billy Donovan is the better coach. But now that we're talking about UNC, let's get into
Indeed.
it then. Let's say you're Bubba Cunningham. You're the athletic director of North Carolina. Realistic. I'm going to say, who's your first call? Like, obviously, Bill Self, Danny Hurley, Rick Pitino. Those are, I don't think they're really feasible. I think these are guys that are probably just going to stay at their programs. Obviously, now we just found out that Tommy Lloyd
Right.
is staying in Arizona. So, realistic first call, who is it? Someone that you know that you can bring in. Realistic.
Realistic first call. Hmm. See, honestly, it probably is Billy Donovan. If we're talking about a guy
Yeah.
that like you genuinely think you can bring in that might leave where
Right.
he's at, because he is in a horrendous situation in the
Terrible.
NBA right now.
Terrible.
And Billy Donovan's one of those interesting guys. He's been a successful NBA coach. He's had some good years.
Yeah, yeah, some great
He's
years with the
punched above
Thunder.
his weight, arguably, with even these Bulls teams, that Thunder
Yeah.
team.
He had some great years with the Thunder.
He is a rare case of a legendary college basketball coach who was also a very good NBA coach.
Yeah, I mean,
But
you
the
find like
situation
John
in Chicago is
Calipari
so
and
bad, and if that front office is just such a mess, it seems like it'd be more than possible to pry him away. Definitely more possible than a guy like Dusty May, Dan Hurley,
right.
Brad Stevens. I saw was a rumor.
Right.
There's
Yeah,
no
Brad
shot that
Stevens.
that
Like, is
happens.
he really
It's
not
not
gonna
going to happen.
you're not gonna quit
So
being
as
the
far as
president of the
realism,
team.
I think Billy Donovan would be my first call. If it's a guy that there's more than like a 5% chance that would take the
Right.
job. My second call would have been Tommy Lloyd. He turned it down already. We just found
Right.
out. I don't know why you'd call him when he's actively in the Final Four, but
Yeah, it seems
here we
kind of
are.
silly.
But yeah,
Yeah.
Billy Donovan would be my first call. Tommy Lloyd would have been my second, but he's off the table. TJ Otzelberger would be my second call personally.
Yeah. That would
What
be a
he's
great
done in
call.
Iowa State is
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
I don't know if he would take it. He seems like he loves the
Well,
Midwest. Big
also
Midwest guy.
his wife is in the Iowa State like Hall of Fame for athletics too.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
like
yeah.
his wife obviously
Yeah,
loves it.
he just loves it there.
And he's been with Iowa State. He was an assistant two separate times, and now he's come back a third. Like it
Hmm.
seems like everywhere he goes, he's trying to get back to Iowa State. So I don't know. Me personally, my first call is also Billy Donovan. My second
Yeah.
call might be a little surprising, but Grant McCasland,
Ooh, that's a good
Texas
one.
Tech,
Yeah.
he has done an unbelievable job at Texas Tech. I honestly, I think if JT Toppin is healthy, I think that's a Final Four team potentially.
Oh, absolutely.
If
That team was
Toppin was
playing out of their
healthy,
mind before JT Toppin went down,
yeah.
which
I
is
mean,
such a sad injury, by the
he was
way.
averaging what 20 points a game
He's the
before.
best player on their team. He's
Yeah, I
unbelievable.
mean,
He almost got
yeah,
him to the Final Four last year. That Florida just
yeah,
made that unbelievable comeback.
yeah.
Walter Clayton couldn't miss the
No,
entire
yeah,
tournament in the
that was the
final like
Walter
5
Clayton
minutes.
tournament,
I mean,
But
just
yeah, I think Grant McCasland is an unbelievably underrated head coach, and I think he'd do wonder that with that NIL budget at North Carolina, with the legacy that it is. I think he
mhm.
would be great. And then I guess if I'm getting a third call, give me Ben McCullum.
Yeah,
What
I
Ben
mean, he's
McCullum
just
has
the guy
done,
just wins.
he's done it every step of the way. At D2, he won a what was it, 3 or 4 national championships? I'm not exactly sure how many. Had a couple of undefeated seasons. Then he goes to Drake, makes the
Hmm.
tournament immediately, then goes to Iowa with a bunch of D2 players, with the players that he had with him at D2, like Bennett Sturts. And he makes the Elite Eight with like half his roster, not half the roster, half
Yeah,
the starting lineup being from D2.
yeah, it's
That is
unbelievable.
unbelievable.
He is and he's the kind of psychopath North Carolina needs right now. And
Oh, my
you hear
goodness.
from Bennett Sturts and that Iowa team that he is insane. That's the kind of guy they need right now. They definitely need a culture shift in that program right now because
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, forget about like not making Final Fours. This is a team that can't make it out of the first round right now. I mean,
I
they're
know.
just not can't get a top four seed. I
It's
mean,
it's not North
they just
Carolina.
don't look like the blue blood.
No, not
Um,
at all.
let me do an exercise with you because obviously, we're talking about realism, but
Okay.
because there are a few guys on my mind that if we're talking about like a pipe dream, maybe like a 5-10% chance would be my first call. Name a few guys. You tell me if you think there's any chance that they could be pried away from the situation they're in.
So
Yes or
you're
no?
giving me the names, and I'm
Yeah,
going to tell you if
yes or
there's
no?
any
You think
chance they'd
there's
be pried away.
any chance? Because remember,
All
we're
right.
talking about the North Carolina job here.
Right. Now, it's a
It's
good point.
arguably the biggest job that'll come up
Maybe ever.
ever. Maybe, I mean, you could argue when Bill Self retires, the Kansas job,
Or
something
like
like.
the thing is, the Duke never had a head coach opening. John Shire
Yeah,
was just the head coach in waiting.
yeah.
So like when that
So, I mean,
program,
this is going to be one of the biggest jobs that'll ever come up. So,
absolutely. All
there's
right,
a couple guys that
fire
came to
away.
my mind. Dusty May.
If he wins the championship this year, I say no. If he doesn't, maybe, because some of the things he said have been a little weird, but Tommy
Hmm.
Lloyd kind of said the same thing and then just signed an extension. So I don't know. Maybe. I'm going to say, okay, no if they win the championship. Yes if they don't.
Okay. Dan Hurley.
Absolutely not. That guy is Connecticut through and through. His wife doesn't want to leave the East Coast. Absolutely not.
That I would agree with. If anything, I think if he was gonna leave UConn, it'd be to go to the Knicks.
100%. He grew up a
Whenever,
Knick
if
fan.
Mike Brown is gone in
That
a few
seems like
years,
the
I think
logical
that would
step.
be the one job. I don't think
Agreed.
there's another college job that would entice Dan Hurley.
Agreed.
How about Nate Oates?
I think so. I think so. Absolutely. I think Nate Oates could be right away. It's not. This isn't Alabama football we're talking about, right?
Right, yeah.
So, yeah, absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely.
How about Todd Golden?
I'm gonna say no because he's got the national championship, so he knows he can win a national championship at Florida. Obviously, right? He's done it. So there's no real need to take that step up. You know what I mean? Like
Right,
if he
yeah.
knows he can win it, he has the NIL budget to win it.
Hmm.
He now has like the legacy to win. Oh well, I've won one. You know, much easier to recruit guys when you have a national championship under your belt. So yeah, no, I don't. I don't think he'd go to North Carolina.
Now, here's one out of left field. You think there's any chance they could convince Jay Wright to go there?
Ho, ho, ho. Now, my college basketball, the part of me that loves college basketball would say yes, please.
Yeah.
I need to see Jay Wright back on the sideline. I need it.
Hmm.
I need it for my sanity, for my love of college basketball. But it seems like Jay Wright is loving retirement.
It
So,
does, yeah. Which
like,
is a shame because Jay
which
Wright
is
on the North
such a
Carolina
shame.
sideline would be
Such a
unbelievable.
shame because if he was on that, oh my goodness, that would be electric. But I don't think anyone's going to pry him away from retired life. I don't see it. I don't see it.
Yeah. And then again, it seems like Tommy Lloyd has already turned it down.
Tommy Lloyd's turned it down. Yep.
Any
I would have
chance
said
he
before this contract extension, I would have said yes, absolutely. He would think about it if they didn't win it all. If they won it all, then I would have said no.
after the Final Four, he might have said
I
it. They
know.
called him when he's 2 wins away from a national championship with the best team he's ever had.
Yeah.
Like if they lose by 20 to Michigan, which probably not, but if that happened and then you call him, like, yeah, maybe he goes there. But
Yeah.
call him before the game. Like, what are you doing? Feels like a miss, honestly.
Agreed.
He was the guy I thought it was going to be
Me too.
when I first saw that he got fired, but they seem to mess that up. And then you think they have any shot at TJ Otzelberger?
I think so. I mean,
Like it's right, yeah.
like maybe a little bit, like obviously Otzelberger, you can tell he's got a love for Iowa State. We were just talking about it with his wife and how he's been there 3 times now and he's always trying to get back. But like it's North Carolina. It's Dean Smith, it's Roy Williams, it's Michael Jordan, it's the ACC, like it's big time basketball, like you can't replicate that at Iowa State, especially now, kind of an early exit or an earlier exit than they were hoping, in the Sweet 16. I could maybe see it. I don't know. I hope not because I would love to see him turn Iowa State into a powerhouse. That would be awesome. That'd be great for the Big 12. It'd be great for the sport. But I could see him leaving for North Carolina. It's a small percentage, but you give him a good enough NIL budget and a big enough contract, and it's going to be almost impossible to say no.
Right. Now there's one guy. I have one guy left for you.
Okay.
Who, in my opinion, a couple things that one, North Carolina would have to decide they don't need like a super young guy. You can go a little bit on the older side. But if that happens, this is my sneaky guy who would be my first call. I think this would be a match made in heaven. I think the North Carolina NIL deal and all that could help him get to his first Final Four. And I think if you're talking about pound for pound coaching, how about Rick Barnes?
Ooh.
Any shot at prying him away from Tennessee?
71-year-old Rick Barnes. He is a North Carolina native. It was funny.
Not moving that far over. Knoxville and Raleigh are not that far away.
When he was doing his press conference for the Elite Eight. They asked me, said, well, it seems like you're like the only guy that's not up for the job because of your age.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, well, I'm from North Carolina, so they should, kind of joke like they should think
Yeah.
about it. Oh, if they 100%, he would take it. Honestly, I
Yeah,
really
right.
think he would. Although he does have that lifetime contract with Tennessee,
Right.
but I just don't think they're going to call him because they know he's 71 years old.
Mm-hmm.
At 71, you really want to uproot your life and go move to another place and have to get active? Like, really? That's where I think maybe not. Maybe
The
I don't
only
know.
reason I think it's possible is
I
because you
don't
look
know.
at what happened with St. John's, where they were. Now, North Carolina was not quite in the depths of
No,
hell
they're
that
not in the
St.
pits of
John's was
no.
in,
They are
but
not.
St. John's goes and gets
No.
old man Rick Pitino, and they are immediately a powerhouse again. And that's
Yeah.
what I think could happen if they do go get a guy like Rick Barnes. This,
Agreed.
I
I
think,
mean,
would happen
obviously,
if they strike out on some of these bigger names, like if
right,
when
right,
inevitably Dusty May and Dan Hurley hang up the phone
right.
and
I
laugh
mean,
in their face.
obviously,
But if Billy Donovan turns you down, like if the Bulls land the first pick in the draft, like it could
right,
happen. I
right.
still don't die on. I still think he would take it, but maybe the offer sucks. I don't know. I mean, you never
Yeah,
know.
I mean, I don't
He could
know.
turn it down. Heck, maybe he gets a good NBA job. I mean,
Yeah,
you
you don't
never
know.
know what kind of jobs open in the NBA. There could be
No.
he could genuinely just prefer being an NBA coach. So I think there's definitely reasons why he would turn down the job.
Hmm.
If TJ Otzelberg, if they don't offer him enough to leave Iowa State,
Right.
and then like Nate Oates turns you down, Todd Golden probably turns you down. Like suddenly your options are kind of
Your
thin.
options are limited. I was actually going to say
So,
when you said Rick, but you would mention no Final Fours. I thought you were going to say Rick Pitino. Now
oh
that would be a curveball. He just signed an extension at
yeah,
St. John's,
that I think
so
there's
he's
no
not going
shot.
anywhere.
That
And he
that's
said
not
it's
happening.
St. John's a retirement, but
Yeah.
that's still someone like you said. Like unrealistically, I'm calling him immediately.
Yeah, you're gonna call. This is the thing.
I'm
When you're in North
calling him,
Carolina,
but
you can get a call with just about anybody.
oh, absolutely, I'm calling everybody. I'm
You could
calling Jay
call
Wright.
Steve Kerr and get a
Yeah,
conversation. Honestly,
yeah. I
that's a
know,
bit of an
honestly.
exaggeration, but you get my point. It's
No,
the North
absolutely.
Carolina head
Yeah,
coaching job. You can call anybody you want.
100%.
Rick Barnes is my curveball. He's about he's the age Rick Pitino was basically. He is a
Pretty much. He's a
take
year
a team.
older,
He could
but
take an elementary school team to the Sweet 16.
that's what I
So
dude.
give him the North Carolina situation. I think he's getting to his first Final Four. I think North Carolina basketball will be back.
He
It's a
is made
sneaky
for
one.
the.
I don't think it's going to happen, but I
It's
think
not.
if they call him, I think he would take it.
He might. I like
I'm
Rick
not
Barnes.
sure they call him though, but
He
if
is
they
made
do,
for the Elite Eight. With that 3 straight Elite 8s now.
with Tennessee too. Like
I
we're not
know he's
talking
such an
about some
unbelievable head
powerhouse
coach.
program here.
He is an unbelievable head coach.
He's unreal, and he has outdueled many legendary coaches
Yeah,
in his day. So
yeah,
he could absolutely hang with the best of them
100%,
if he gets to his Final Four.
100%.
So no, it's. I really think there's a chance that they strike out on more people than they think. And suddenly the options
Maybe.
are thin if you don't go that kind of route.
Yeah.
Like Grant
Well,
McCaslin, I think, is like a safe one, but
I think he would take it.
he's
I
got a
think he
good
totally.
situation in Texas. The offer's
He is
got to
good.
be like still lucrative to get him.
Absolutely,
Like
absolutely.
you
Yeah,
can't give him the same exact thing he has at Texas Tech. I think he would just stay. You
absolutely.
got to beat. That's the thing. You got to beat what all these guys currently have. I think to pry him
True.
away. I think some of
Yeah.
them would. I think it's a numbers game. I don't think they're all gonna turn you down.
Right.
But again, like North Carolina, it's a program on the decline. I don't think it's out of the question that all these guys turn you down because all these programs are currently in a much better spot than North Carolina is in right now.
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
mean, it's one of those things, your options could thin out really quickly, I think, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
Yeah.
you could have to go in a direction like
That you're not
Rick
expecting.
Barnes or some guy that's desperate to get to a Final Four where you're kind
Yeah.
of helping each other. It's not more of a favor that they're coming to you like,
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
guy like any of these guys really. I mean,
Yeah. Well, I think we'll find out in the next couple days. Final Four wrapping up. We'll see what Dusty May has to say. We'll see. Maybe Dan Hurley gets that phone call. Maybe Brad
absolutely.
Underwood gets a phone call. Who knows?
Anything is possible in North Carolina, job.
Anything is possible. The North Carolina job. Anything is possible in the NCAA tournament. We found that out in the last couple days.
Yeah, we're
Final
going to
four,
76 teams, so that's great.
final
There's also
four.
that. No,
Yeah, right. We're
yeah.
expanding to
Any any
76.
any
It looks like.
change is possible too. We found out
True.
because we're just
True.
letting everybody in now.
Yeah. Well,
Ridiculous.
well, final four starts tomorrow at 6:09 with, I believe,
Cannot
UConn,
wait.
Illinois is the first game.
Should be, in my opinion, one of the best Final Fours we've seen so far this decade. I
Yep.
personally think it will
We'll
top the
see.
all one seed Final Four we saw last year.
Yeah. I
That
mean,
was
that
a
was a
great
really
one
good final
too,
four, but
but
we'll see.
I think these matchups are just unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal
All right.
coaching. It's gonna be special.
Yep. All right. On that note, we'll see you next time.